Alrighty guys, we're back for Angel Aggro, and this is an Edge of Eternity standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We got a lot of value angels packed in, all four Giada Font of Hope for a good reason. Even though it's a legendary creature, yeah, all four will come in handy. We got all four Youthful Valkyrie, all four Inspiring Overseer as well. We got a top-end Lyra Dawnbringer, cool. How about some new angels? We have all four Starfield Shepherd. Also here on the top end, it's a 5 mana 3/2 with flying, but it does have a warp cost for just 1 and a white, so that's going to happen quite often. We're going to do some rearranging for the warp. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or a creature card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You're going to grab plains every now and then, of course, but what kind of creatures could we grab with this? How about Lightstall Inquisitor? It's a 1 white mana 2/1 with vigilance, which is nice. When this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. Each land played this way enters tapped. So that ability is just a little bit of an annoyance for the opponent, right? We do have more on the top end. We have a couple Astelli Reclaimers. It's a 5 mana 5/4, also with a warp cost, this time for 2 and a white. I'll do that rearranging again. So when this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So what kind of things could potentially be in the graveyard to pick up with the Reclaimer? Well, we have all four Sheltered by Ghost. Once that's on a creature, if the opponent removes the creature, Sheltered by Ghost will of course go to that graveyard, right? We also have Lumen-Class Frigate, which is a 2 mana artifact spacecraft with station. So at 2+ of the charge counters, other creatures you control get +1/+1. It's actually pretty good and easy to get to. Now at 12+, it's a flying lifelink 3/5, which I would say is pretty important for the opponent to remove, so potentially bringing back the frigate with the Reclaimer as well. We also have a couple Authority of Consuls to slow down the opponent a little bit, because I called it Angel Aggro doesn't mean it's the most aggressive deck in the format, right? So we still have to keep up pace with the other aggro deck lists somehow, and that means slowing them down a little bit sometimes. How about protecting our important creatures? 3 Zack Fairs making the cut. I think it's going to be terrific in here, man. And now, even though it's really just acting as protection, we don't have ways to actually stack counters onto Zack. We don't have any equipments in here either. It's actually a pretty good one to grab off the Starfield Shepherd too, when you just know looming around the corner is a destructive board wipe from the opponent or something, right? Maybe you can protect the biggest and chunkiest of your angels with a Zack. Now, over in the mana base, we have a couple Soulstone Sanctuary can power up, and it's an angel, which works well with the Giada ability especially. We also have a couple Cavern of Souls to help prevent counterspells on our valuable angels. Over in the mana base, thought about Requisition Raid could be beautiful in here, and this would be a way to get some +1/+1 counters onto that Zack, right? But I also thought about Get Lost too, not this time round. All right, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I'm actually expecting a lot, guys. My test games were beautiful with this deck list. As a matter of fact, it's overdue for some losses, so I guess I'm a little nervous about that, but I think it'll be good. Even when we do get some losses, I think it'll showcase itself nicely. I like triple Valkyrie here. Ooh, Leyline of Hope. Okay. Now we could wait to establish some Valkyries, but I think we just get the ball rolling with creatures immediately. That's totally fine. We got plenty of angels in here. The top deck anyways. Like they're gonna go ahead and choose the adventurers in. Nice. That'll eventually come out tapped and gain them a couple life. Ace of the Uneaten Feast. Oh dear. Alright, get the swing. Now one thing I really want to showcase today is actually that Lumen-Class station. Pairing beautifully with all of our vigilance creatures, and also when we warp in those other cards. Since we don't have ways to give those warp cards haste, it's going to be great to just plug them into the station. Ooh, Lyra's pretty good. That'll come in handy when it comes time. I think we accept a trade on the ground, right? That would be a pretty good trade for us. Because the Sanctifiers are gaining them so much life anyways. Yeah, we full swing. Not a bad trade at all. Unless we do top deck one of the stations, in which case I guess it might be a bad trade. Ah, we get it through anyways. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, Zack is down. Can't protect against Sheltered by Ghost, which is definitely what Mono White life gain runs. It might run some Get Lost in there too, or something. Either way, it's not open right now. Alright, they go ahead and warp out. Guided by Light. Going back up to 28 and getting the boost from the ley line. We're in danger, bro? Yeah, being able to gain 2 off of each Sanctifier and the case. And then, of course, when this enters, too, gaining the 2. I mean, we don't want to chump that, right? We want to take that down to 17 for sure. And they'll play the Guided by Light again next turn, probably, gaining them another 8. It's going to be really hard to keep up pace with that turn 1 ley line, right? Lyra is going to be a great way to do it, though. Oh, Sheltered by Ghost probably pick up that ley line, and then keep the Zack open, right? Yeah. And unless they find Plains and they're Sheltered by Ghost, that would be really bad. Well, they wouldn't need a Plains. They could always just take the Sheltered by Ghost without targeting the creature. Yeah, but there's no way. There's no way we don't pick up that ley line, right? Oh man, all 4 Sheltered by Ghost in here for a very good reason. I feel like the opponent's saying that right now too. Okay, keep Zack open, get a terrific swing, and again, I'm gonna accept that trade on the ground here. Technically, we could swing with Zack too, but they have a good block into that anyways, so I'm just gonna keep it open. I don't want any fancy pants trick killing off the Zack either. Like a surprise Elspeth Smite or something. Okay, opponent's down to 22, we're at 20. Anyone's game for sure, especially after picking up that ley line. That was a huge draw for us. Any mana off the top could be good, trying to get us into that top end Dawnbringer, but honestly, one of our warp creatures could be good here too. Okay, Pride Mate goes up to a 5/5 right out the gate here. We're really going to be relying on our Flying Angels for sure. Probably have to chump on the ground a little bit. Eventually. Yeah, our Starfield Shepherd, grab a Plains, then play second Valkyrie could be insane, but then we won't have Zack open. Wow, it is going to be a Starfield Shepherd, guys. Wow. That's pretty good. We could grab that Plains 1 step closer to the Dawnbringer, or we could always grab another 1-drop like an Inquisitor. That would boost the Valkyries too, I guess, but yeah, we'll warp in the Shepherd. I feel like this would have been a really good game for the station card, right? Boost the Valkyries. Yeah, we'll grab a Plains because that gets us 1 step closer to the Dawnbringer. Keep Zack open. I don't think we do. Not this turn. Because if we top deck Plains, and we want to do it before combat because it very much affects combat here. Yeah, not keeping Zack open is pretty sketchy though. We'll see if the opponent pulls off. So for Lyra, other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. And then also 3 of the Valkyries would get a +1/+1 counter too. So the opponent would really be in danger if we can pull off the 5th mana. I'd say 24 mana in here for a good reason as well. Opponent goes back up to 20. This is a funny game. Oh, back up to 22. Got a great swing. I think they do have something else. It's going to be another Guided by Light. They're going up to 26. I don't know. I'm losing count. Yeah, 26. Holy cow, guys. Holy cow. We really need that 5th mana off the top. Now, we could take this down to 12 probably. But what else? Like, are we just planning on a better chump next turn? Maybe? Yeah, I guess. I guess next turn, these will be even chunkier, and there's going to be 2 of them. We could chump while we have the chump, because they could top deck removal, but I'm just going to take it. We're fine. We also get some life gain here, and if we do top deck that Plains, we get a lot of life gain all of a sudden. Okay, they do restock their hand a little bit here. We do find the mana. Beautiful stuff. We will call Angel. Now, Starfield Shepherd's open again, but, I mean, come on. It's definitely Lyra. For sure, dude. 2 very different versions of mono white kind of doing similar things, right? Huge damage in the air. Again, though, Zack's not open, but versus what we're up against, again, we're kind of just sweating with when they find exile removal, not actually destroy removal that Zack helps against. Yeah, we swing in the air for 15. We go back up to 27, and it's anyone's, dude. It really, really is. I think they could find, you know, 2 Sheltered by Ghost off the top. Oh, it's going to be Guided by Light. They're going to gain 4, right? Then the Pride Mates, we're definitely going to have to chump one of these. They find removal, though, because if they remove even the Dawnbringer, it's probably too late to remove Sheltered by Ghost to get the Leyline back. They have 3 mana open. If they have nothing else in hand, they could still play the Guided by Light. If they get over 20, we do not have the damage that we need. No, we could, because we still have Shepherd to play. I mean, that is lethal, so we are forced into a block here. I don't think there's anything that surprises us with Trample in mono white life gain, right? So we'll chump the big old chunky Pride Mate there. Take 15, but go back up to 15 thanks to the lifelink from the Dawnbringer. They do get some card draw. Okay. I guess I'll play the Plains first, then play the Starfield Shepherd. It could be anything, guys. They could still have some spot removal here. If it's generic spot removal, Zack should help with that, though. So much so that I'm going to grab Inquisitor, but we're not going to play Inquisitor. GG opponent. All right, yeah, we had to... we were going to completely play it out just in case. They had 2 cards in hand, 3 mana open. We had, after the Shepherd play, 18 damage from the Valkyries and another 5 from the Dawnbringer. But again, we don't know what kind of surprise the opponent potentially could have had. Now, we could have had an extra 3 if we played Inquisitor to boost those triple Valkyries, but keeping the Zack open would have been much, much better there for sure, because if it was instant speed spot removal for the Dawnbringer, for example, protecting Dawnbringer from a Get Lost is really good. Cool stuff, man. Like I said, from the test games and everything, the deck list is well overdue for a loss, so we'll see. It's kind of doing the thing. I liked that opening hand. I liked all 3 of the Valkyries there. Really just a beautiful card. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Hey, there's the Lumen-Class. I am convinced that this would have been terrific in that last game, too. Giada, yeah. Not too many angels here. The opponent dropped the hello, drop it in return. We don't get many hellos. Definitely make sure to do that. Maybe Zack can eat up an early burn spell so that way Giada can survive. And it's a similar concept to Zack eventually protecting Giada anyways. Go for the swing on the Hired Claw. I think I'll take the block. No, I won't take the block. They have the Hired Claw ability. What am I saying? I was going to say, if it's a combat trick, that's fine, but it's a really easy combat trick if I block. Ah, second Hired Claw, yeah. Burn spell. Let's do... Ooh, Valkyrie's good. With how Valkyrie and Giada are, you can go either or, but versus mono red, getting Valkyrie down first is a little better, but also based on not having the third mana in hand yet, we might want to go Giada. If we see it, it's only if we see a 1 mana thing next turn, though. Yeah, Valkyrie survives against more, so it's better to go Valkyrie here over the ramp. And we got 24 mana in here. I think it'll be easy peasy to find the third. Alright, Nova Hellkite pings the Valkyrie for 1. We still have a good block into one of the Hired Claws, but this is a significant chunk of damage coming through. Yeah, they're tapped out. Valkyrie survives. Going down to 11. Scary business. We do find more mana. Awesome stuff, man. But I think we're going to be forced into a Sheltered by Ghost swing. Oh, Angel is at the top. I don't know why every single time that pops up, I try scrolling to the bottom. That's really funny. So we could save Sheltered by Ghost for a Screaming Nemesis. I am a little concerned that we'll just like die next turn if we do that. Giada boosts the Valkyrie. I guess this might be a little better. I am kind of waiting for that Nemesis drop. Alright, yeah, no attacks. Yeah, we're on the defense for sure. I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. See, if we would have went Giada first, we could have potentially had a turn. Well, the truth of the matter is it could have just been a second Burst Lightning too, and then we would have been in danger regardless. So we can try the block on the Hired Claw, but we can imagine... I mean, it could be, instead of a surprise, they could just use the ability once, right? Guess they could use the ability twice, but Valkyrie still survives. We don't block with Giada, I know that much. I hope this is okay. I hope, because we really want to put the Sheltered by Ghost on the Valkyrie next turn. Boost it to help it survive. Boost the other one to get more damage through. That makes sense. Definitely does. Overseer's fantastic. Could gain us some life. Boost the Valkyrie. But I think we wait for that for next turn. Only 2 open. 2, 3. Yeah, nothing in our hand is lining up well for the mana that we have, unfortunately. It'd be pretty cool. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Yeah, no matter what, we have to survive. Overseer comes in with the extra counters as well. Not enough to block the Hellkite if they have their 5th. And only going up to 8 might not be the best. If we go Sheltered by Ghost swing with Giada, we could still have the block with Giada. You know what? I'm going to risk it, guys. I think I'm just going to go Inspiring Overseer, keep everything untapped. Hey, we find some mana, which is actually really good. If we would have anticipated that, we could have tapped Giada for the Overseer, but I think I'd much rather just not. I'd rather not risk it right now, right? We'll see, though. If the opponent's playing Burn anyways, we could die this turn easily. Yeah, so tap Giada, Overseer, open 2 mana, then Sheltered by Ghost that turn. Oh, holy cow, 3rd Hired Claw. We could die. We really could. Well, except for the fact that it's not going to be double burn out of their hand now. It could still be Lightning Strike. So we still want to take the blocks. This is going to end up being a trade, which is fine. Into the Overseer. Only to cast creature spells, but then it won't be the Lightning Strike. Yeah, no, this is worthwhile. See, since we didn't have to use Giada as an emergency blocker that last turn. Okay. Zack is decent. I think we finally get the Lumen-Class down, though. No, Zack's even better. Zack's really good. We'll start by life gain. Full swing. Yeah, now Zack can protect against the best of their burn. Really good. Even if they find something to take care of the Valkyrie, which should be pretty hard for mono red, we could potentially play Reclaimer to bring back the Sheltered by Ghost from the grave. Yeah. The opponent might be stuck between a rock and a hard place now. 5th mana. Sunspine Lynx. Oh, crap. Okay, yeah, nice opponent. Okay, stops the life gain, pings us for 1 here. But pings them for 2. They're down to 10. Could be okay for us. We got 6 here. Boost from the Valkyrie if we play Reclaimer. Nah, probably not. Alright, in danger. No more life gain. Ooh, 5th mana. Kind of feels bad that we didn't get a chance to play the Lumen-Class yet, right? But we could play it. Play the Reclaimer for 3. Tap the Reclaimer. We'd have 8 in the air. Again, no life gain though. Keeping a blocker on the ground is probably better. Maybe keeping Zack open still. Love Giada as an emergency blocker too. I think we just outright cast the Reclaimer. That way we have a 5/4 flying, threatening lethal next turn. Oh, the 7/6 flying. Sorry. Yeah, full swing. Yeah, 7/6 flying because of Giada's ability, of course, right? Which, funny enough, if we actually warped this out for 3 and played the Lumen-Class, we could have tapped the Reclaimer and the Valkyrie to power up the Lumen-Class into a 3/5. Holy cow. Also, after the fact, too, like if we started by tapping Valkyrie, we would have had +1/+1 on everything again. There's a Nemesis. All right, that's got to get through. We don't want to block it. Lots of ways to stop life gain from the opponent here. Oh, they dropped the oops. Uh-oh. I think I take the 3 over the block. We go down to 5. I think we survive. Yes. All right. Hey, good game, opponent. Absolutely. Dude. Wow. All right. Let's keep the ball rolling, I guess. Heck yeah, I had fun. Holy cow. I mean, honestly, the rest of the games can go however they want, but I mean, I really do want to see that Lumen-Class hit the board. Sometimes you're just like, you're sweating so badly by your turn 3, right? The opponent just took their 4th turn, and like you're in so much danger that you just can't get anything established onto the board except for removal or emergency blockers and stuff. And that's kind of what happened in that last game, which ended up just working out as the Angels were more than chunky enough to deal. Also, they missed Screaming Nemesis early on, too. That Nemesis right away would have been terrifying. That's what the Sheltered by Ghost would have hit, I suppose. Great hand, guys. Really good. We'll see if Giada can actually come down on turn 2. I doubt it. Usually we want something else to eat up the removal. Swamp, yeah. So actually, Lumen-Class was a great draw. It's a great time to go ahead and just play this. Sorcery speed, yeah. Yeah. Versus a swamp, just get it down and established at long last. Ugh. Swamp and island, pass it back, right? Oh, second Giada, perfect. Let's start with that. Starfield Shepherd could also be pretty good here, but second Giada tells me what we want to do. Because if, by some miracle, if it survives, then we have ramp into 2 of our Valkyries next turn. But also, if it doesn't, we have the second Giada ready. So 1 counterspell out of the opponent's deck list so far. The 3rd mana, pass it back. It's a tapped land. Let's go. Oh, they keep an island open here. Could be a bounce spell. Still try. Oh, nice. Wow. Yep, that's pretty good. Starfield Shepherd is going to wait until the Valkyries are established. And start with Giada. It's like I said, because of how they're worded, you can start with either or. The Valkyrie will still have the counter on it. As long as they enter, right? Nice. Alright, time to power them up. Since the Angels don't have haste anyways, right? We will let the Tiny Bones through, though. Is that okay? We may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard. I mean, I don't want to block that anyways. So, yeah. They'll get a Giada cast, I suppose. I don't want to lose either of these creatures. I wonder what's in the opponent's hand. Maybe it was a bounce spell, but they figure there's going to be a better bounce in their future. Even so, bouncing now would be great tempo, right? So, second Valkyrie, Starfield Shepherd, tap the second Valkyrie and the Shepherd, powers up the Lumen-Class, because this is 4. This will enter... No, it's so much more. I keep overlooking Giada giving all of these extra counters to you. They do end up casting Giada, which is great for them because it gives them a blocker in the air, if nothing else. Like I said, though, we're not blocking that Tiny Bones. It's getting through. Ooh, Inspiring Overseer. Now, if we plan on drawing land, we could always start with that, but now we'll stay on task here. Second Valkyrie is terrific. Now, we don't expect a turn 4 board wipe. I guess we could tap Giada for the Overseer. We could do that. But I want to swing with Giada instead. This is great, guys. What a setup. What a setup, dude. We get to keep this Valkyrie as a blocker, actually, and instead of land, we should probably just grab the Light Shawl. I don't think Zack, based on what we've seen so far from the opponent, I'm thinking, yeah, there's going to be generic removal, but there's also going to be tempo and bounce and counters. Just like the Light Shawl, being a nice little value angel that boosts our other Valkyries and everything, you know? I just feel like that's pretty good. Beautiful. Alright, so we could play the Inquisitor, but that would only be 1 extra. See what they got. Also, grabbing Plains could have meant playing the Shepherd again next turn for 5 mana, but with Overseer in hand, it just makes more sense. Grab Inquisitor, play Overseer, Inquisitor next turn. But it isn't into the Floodmaw, which is really good for them. Did you take it down to 14? We go back up to 22. We can play the Inquisitor, or we can wait till the Valkyrie's reestablished. I don't think we do. I think we play it now. Because again, we could see our 5th mana play Valkyrie and Overseer anyways. Also, it's up 6/5 Vigilance right now, so... that's also pretty brutal, I would say. Tiny Bones is a great blocker, though. Alright. more Lumen-Class could be interesting based on this board state, right? Yeah, also, if we were, like, if the turns were reversed here and the opponent was about to get their 5th mana, right? Then I would have been pretty scared of a deadly cover-up this whole time. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and just play the Flood Pitch Drowner, tap down the Valkyrie, which is probably good news for us. Take that one. Gets rid of a blocker, though. It must be another Into the Flood Maw. Okay, good game, opponent. I don't entirely understand the Drowner on their turn play. Yeah, the stun counter was about to go away. We could pay 2, tap it, shuffle this creature, and target creature with stun counter on it. It didn't have the 4th mana to key that. Maybe... I don't know. Yeah. not entirely certain there at the end. But again, just an overwhelming amount of power from these angels. Holy cow. Guys, we're 30 minutes in. I'm okay with just one more game. Win or lose, it's fine. We got to showcase the Lumen-Class Frigate in that last one beautifully. We powered it up easily. Just big old chunky angels powers it up so fast, and Giada's ability's crazy business. Guys, while I have you here towards the endish of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Heck yeah, this is a great hand for the last game of the evening. Also, guys, if you enjoy the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right, I think we're safe to play Giada unless they're Gruul and they play a mountain. No, Golgari, run, Giada, run! No! All right, that's my fault. Let's go ahead and... running right into the second piece of spot removal. Doesn't seem that great, does it? But it's fine. We're totally fine. We get to grab another angel with the Shepherd too. Got plenty of mana. Golgari colors kind of surprised me. Oh, nice. It passed right back. You have the mana we need. Shepherd before combat. Another game where the Luminous could have been really cool here, right? Establishing that on 2 instead of Giada, for example. Yep. Lightstall Inquisitor. Have I been saying Lightstall? Yeah, it's Lightstall. I don't know exactly what I've been saying, but... Zack about to do the thing, guys. Oh, it's a Cease, actually. Let's see what they draw. We go up to 22. Valkyrie gets the boost. Gonna be a... Ooh. An Ultima. Okay, this is not Golgari, guys. Get 4 through, easy peasy. Starfield Shepherd can come out again next turn, but then we won't have the Zack open. What's great about Zack is you don't have to tap it for the bottom ability. It's fantastic, guys. I sound like a broken record at this point, but it is criminally underplayed. I've had so much success with Zack. Alright, more mana. We probably don't want to tap out this turn. Probably just want to swing for 6. Return clock from the opponent, but next turn could be a board wipe. Deadly cover-up, since they have ultimate in here too. Deadly cover-ups destroy, thank goodness, so we can protect the chunkiest thing. Yeah, not playing Shepherd seems terrible, but I am playing around a board wipe, period, and we need that Zack open. It would have been great to have a target for the Sheltered by Ghost, but it's also nice that the opponent doesn't have anything too. Rakshasa's Bargain. All right, I guess I don't know what we're up against. They spend 4 mana for it to be able to use the Golgari colors in the casting cost. So top 4 cards is a pretty good chunk of cards. 2 of them into hand, rest into the grave. Oh, Yuna, right? Maybe. Okay, Leyline of the Void. 5th mana. It's going to be a blue source. See that Deadly Cover-Up. That would be the best thing that the opponent could do for the turn, because then it goes from a 2-turn clock to a 3-turn clock as we protect Valkyrie. Destroy target non-land permanent. Uh-oh. Double down on removal, maybe? I think it'll be worthwhile if they double down on removal. Shoot the Sheriff. So we lost 2 creatures for 2 pieces of spot removal. I think that's okay, but now we are significantly slowed down. So we can play the Plains. We could draw an Overseer first, I guess. Yeah, we're going to hold off on the Shepherd for now. Overseer was a fantastic draw. Ooh, more mana, not so much. Without Zack on the board, I'm scared of everything, so... Right. And the opponent's going to have 6 mana potentially this turn too, which is the danger zone. Prospector. When it dies, create a lander. Huh. It blocks well on the ground for the Inquisitor. So, 7th mana. Play Shepherd. Get Zack. Play Zack. Have Zack's ability open. Swing in air. Focus Sheltered by Ghost next turn. I think that's okay. Seems pretty good. They still got 3 mana open though, so right now on the stack of the Zack, they could pop the biggest thing, which is the Overseer. Oh, 3 steps ahead. No, they're just going card draw anyways. I was gonna say, it's not a bad counter spell for the opponent, but I guess if they know what's in their deck list, they know what they could draw into, then they might as well do that as well. So we'll keep Zack's ability open. Swing in the air. And down to 8. It's anyone's game, guys. I think it's leaning towards the opponent regardless of what we have over here, unfortunately, but we'll see. Yeah, if it's, like I said, a Deadly Cover-Up, because they don't have the double white on the board yet for the Ultima anyways. It's a Deadly Cover-Up. Now that Zack's established, we can protect Shepherd. Shepherd goes up to 4. Opponent's back down to a 2-turn clock. They're going to pass it back. We could potentially win this turn unless they have 2 pieces of spot removal. Giada's a great draw, but we're gonna go for this. The Flyers already have huge targets on their back, so we're gonna go Sheltered on the Inquisitor. We got 9 on the board with a full swing. See if we can pull this off. Going to be Fangkeeper's Familiar. Very nice opponent. Right. That is terrifying. Holy cow. They can, I mean, everything. It does everything they need it to, guys. Oh, crap. We're in danger. They only get to choose one of these. I think they want to pop the Sheltered by Ghost and try to remove both of our creatures on the ground. But then they block. We give Indestructible to the Inquisitor, or we could get 6 through in the air. I shouldn't have swung with Zack, right? I shouldn't have. But also, I wasn't anticipating a flash creature, but I should have been, right? The opponent's deck list is really neat. So we can just accept this trade. I think pushing more in the air makes sense, and splitting this wide too. We keep our other creatures. Okay. They go down to 2. They get a lander token. That's how they can grab the white source out of the build. No idea what we're up against, but cool deck list opponent. Yeah, we could play Giada, but how close are we to that board wipe? They haven't had it for the last couple turns. 1 white source on a lander doesn't bring him to the Ultima. Two pieces of spot removal brings him back. I'm not playing around the board wipe anymore, guys. I think we're late enough into the game where we just go for it. We play it all out, because if they have double spot removal, if we play around the board wipe, they don't have to play it next turn. Pop two creatures or get a blocker in the air somehow too. See, while they're tapped out, just establishing the board state wide, seeing that they missed the board wipe the first couple turns. We were playing around a deadly cover-up. I think the deadly cover-up would have already come out. And then the odds of them drawing it could have been pretty low here too. So if they have it, I mean, they are rocking Ultima with no white sources on the board. And we might land some, am I right? Yeah, I know. I know the feeling, opponent. Yeah, I think it's the white sources that held them up here for sure. Really neat deck list, opponent. GG, for real. For real. That was a cool one. There's some underplayed cards over there. Here's, like, first of all, Grixis just waiting. Grixis just waiting to be broken. I'm not Grixis, I'm sorry, guys. Sultai. Did I say Grixis earlier, too? Yeah, Sultai Colors waiting to be broken. Fangkeeper's Familiar is fantastic. So, that was such a scary play from the opponent, but also Rakshasa's Bargain's pretty good. It's a great way to stock up your grave too. 4 off the top, 2 to hand, 2 to the grave. Kind of crazy. And then at 3 mana too sometimes when you actually have the Sultai Colors on the board. Really neat deck list. Yeah. Guys, 41 minutes in. Let's go talk about this one. Wow. Wow, did we lose today? It's weird. It's weird, man. If we get 100% win rate video, I get to the end and I'm like, no, that didn't happen, right? We lost somewhere, right? I have no idea, honestly. So I'm going to go back in the video, watch them through, double check. I feel like we only played 4 games anyways, but I'm not 100% certain. Some days all the games start to blur together. There's a few things to note here. We didn't really see a lot of the meta. We saw mono white life gain, which is a big part, I suppose. But like mono green landfall, where was that today, right? That's a little weird. And then synthesizer builds too would be a big competitor versus this. But Sheltered by Ghost does pick up the synthesizer, does pick up the repurposing base. So Sheltered by Ghost is an excellent piece of removal for that. Authority of Consuls can tap down their constructs on the turn where they want to get their fire crystal out and stuff too for the synthesizer, right? Authority of Consuls can tap down the chump blocker flyers that mono white life game plays, so that way they don't have the chumps on the turns that they desperately need the chumps for our big old chunky flying angels, right? And then Authority of Consuls 2 working really well. And remember, I was really scared about Screaming Nemesis in that game. If we could lock down that card for 1 extra turn, 3 less damage to the face, get a little bit of life gain as it entered too, and then next turn play our Sheltered by Ghost out of hand, pick up the Nemesis. I really like the Authority of Consuls. I'm going to defend it in here, even though I called it Angel Aggro. I think it's actually excellent in the right creature builds. And this is the right creature build where you want to stop the opponent from having a chump blocker just for 1 more turn. And that should be pretty good. Zack Fair, the best card you've never played with. Honestly, if you watch this channel enough, hopefully you've played with Zack by now. I've just had so much success with it, even outside of deck lists that care about counters, and even outside of deck lists that care about equipments. You just don't got to worry about that nonsense. It already comes in with the +1/+1 counter anyways. It's in here to give indestructible. Now, it's not hexproof indestructible, so there are things that get around it. Exile removal is still plentiful, right? And then also board wipes, but indestructible protects you versus the destroy board wipes, like that deadly cover-up that we were waiting for in that last game. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, wait, what exile board wipes are remaining in Standard? But there are some. There's the new 5-drop that never took the place of Sunfall yet. And then also, like, Pinnacle Starcage and stuff would be pretty devastating versus this deck list. But I haven't seen too much Starcage outside of the synthesizer builds. And yeah, the synthesizer builds are going to be a problem, but hopefully not too much of a problem. Let's see. Yeah, because of all the 2-drops and everything. Starfield Shepherd was excellent. The Warp was excellent. It's kind of like 2 mana draw card tap Shepherd, power up Lumen-Class, and then play it later on, and you're boosting the Valkyries the first time you play it, and you're boosting the Valkyries the second time you play it. Really neat. I'd say the Reclaimer is not necessary, but still being able to, again, warp this in. If you got Giada and another Angel on the board, it's like 7 power, and you can power up that Lumen-Class easy peasy. Or maybe, yeah, the opponent hit a Sheltered by Ghost early on off of one of your creatures, they got their card back, but then maybe you can actually get that ETB, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your grave to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature, which that bottom part doesn't really matter in here because no matter what, you're going to be paying 3 or more mana in here, and then there's no other non-creature, non-permanent cards in here except for Lumen-Class, Sheltered by Ghost, and Authority of Consuls. I still like the double Soulstone Sanctuary, still like the double Cavern of Souls as well. I think that just having utility in the mana base is totally fine in this one. Yeah, I could see one Reclaimer go up a second Dawnbringer, actually. That could be really cool in here too. I like Inspiring Overseer, not like the most aggressive creature, but again, just keeping your hand stocked up similar to how the Shepherd does. But then also, it's just a value angel that's working with all of the other angels beautifully. How about the do not craft list, guys? Is this one that we don't want to craft? I mean, holy cow, it's just well overdue. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to arrange these. And I'm failing. Yeah, a lot of rares. Yeah, it's so overdue for a loss at this point. I honestly don't remember if I lost a test game. I played quite a few test games. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I kind of feel like this deck list hasn't lost yet. It's just well overdue for it. It's definitely going to lose eventually, for sure. It's not like a incredible win rate style of deck list, right? Right? I kind of feel like I'm just getting lucky with it. Anyways, beautiful curve and everything too. Go ahead, put it on the do not craft list though. That's pretty expensive. That's a chunk of rares, man. Holy cow. But I think this is an excellent one to base off of your collection. Really, really good one to base off of your collection, actually. So if you only have 3 Giadas, that's fine. Giada's amazing. It is legendary, though, and some people refuse to play 4 legendaries in a deck list. There you go. You just keep the 3 and be happy about it. Go up another creature or piece of removal. That'll do really well for you. Go up that Get Lost, right? Go up that Requisition Raid. If you really are seeing a lot of like the synthesizer builds, Requisition Raid can be excellent versus that. You can pop an artifact, or you can use the artifact ability and the +1/+1 counter ability too. You're boosting a nice wide angel board state or plugging extra counters onto Zack, that could be really good. So yeah, base it on your collection. Maybe you don't have any of the brand new Reclaimers. You do not have to craft this. Maybe you had a couple extra Dawnbringers instead. Perfect. Go opt those instead, right? Yeah, completely base it off of your collection. This could be a really, really fun one. Outside of that, put it on the do not craft list. Funny enough, it's like nothing makes the craft list recently because I don't know, I'm just very picky. It's really hard to say, oh yeah, spend 70 rare wild cards on this deck list and you'll have just as much luck as me. I don't know about that, dude. I feel like, yeah, we did get a little lucky even though it was curving out beautifully. Yeah, base it on your collection. Really good, really fun one. I'm definitely going to put powerful or something along those lines in the title just based on all the games that I've played with it, even the ones outside of the video. Yeah. Oh, and then also rare with the Sanctuary and mythic with the Cavern of Souls. Luckily, those can be played in other deck lists too. But there you go. There's some trade outs as well. If you don't have the Cavern and you don't have the Sanctuaries, you could just play 4 more planes. That's fine. Or maybe you have some other utility land that you'd like to slot into the deck list instead. That would work. Yep, trade out based on your collection. Maybe you could craft a couple of them. Maybe you could... I was going to say Inquisitor. Maybe you have 3 Inquisitors. You could craft the 4th. That's the problem, though. Where else is Inquisitor actually going to be played? It does seem like a pretty value 1-drop. But outside of Angels, I don't know exactly where it belongs. I think that the Vigilance is really good. Maybe you could play around with the Vigilance in another station or spacecraft deck list too. Maybe. it's hard to say that any of the rares are actually worth the craft because they're so specific to angels in this scenario. Like maybe Authority of Consuls, you only got one of them. The second one might be worth the craft because it could also go in other mid-range or control deck lists too. And then, like I said, like I made the argument, certain aggro deck lists as well. All right, guys, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.